one thing we should take is to say a few words about memory of Mathuranath Prabhu. And I spoke with him. He called me when we had Bhakti Fest. I spent like an hour with him. We had very extensive talk. But he was very disturbed with his health condition and his social condition. Actually, he wants to take sannyas, he wants to join the mission. But I told him, try to do gradually, because considering the health and family and everything. And now I feel I'm very sorry to say that. I should have told him just come immediately, take sannyas, and because we know the worst thing can happen to you is you start expecting some mundane material changes. And we know the best things happen to you is when you're going forward towards Krishna consciousness.
Yeah.
And what I believe is, he passed away very misfortunately, and I've seen so many people post so many, nice things about him. But, in a devotee community, he was a very dear member. And I believe, just like Chota Haridas, Mahaprabhu heard him singing. Then somebody said, well, it's very inauspicious, Chota Haridas passed away a particular way. But what can be happening inauspiciously in Krishna consciousness? So I'm thinking, although he left his mortal body, but in his settled body, he's here now with Vrindavan. I think so, because where will you go? You'll go where your mind is carried. And we know we may not have power to go penetrate, material world and go to Golok Vrindavan, but for sure devotee knows there's Vrindavan here. It's non-different actually. Not only non-different, is here some unique conditions which is not available in spiritual world. And the unique condition is, as a junior practitioner, you can enter this plane and have particular sukritya, which will carry you to the higher plane. So it's not a simple setup here, we know, especially Vrindavan is considered to be different levels, just like Mon Mohan, according to scriptures. It's Sambandha Abhideya Prayojana. So in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mon Mohan is being glorified as entrance level Krishna who's extending his mercy to devotee, like, hey, come. And then Abhideya is Govindaji and Prayojan Tattva is Gopinathji to Raghunath Das Goswami and Rupa Goswami, as we know. But actually, now switching to Srila Sanatana Goswami, when you're reading Brihad Bhagavatamritam, you will think the amount of confidential information is in this book. It doesn't sound like Sambandha. Which, in Govinda Maharaja's words, when Govinda Maharaj is building with Acharya Maharaj the gate of Jal Mandir, then Govinda Maharaj is coming and expecting how deep you're digging. He wants to know, he doesn't want to know what's the gate, he wants to know how deep you're digging. When somebody asks Govinda Maharaj, why you are so concerned about? And Govinda Maharaj said, well, its foundation strong, it will remain a very long time. If there is no strong foundation, it doesn't really matter what you build on the surface, it's all going to vanish. So, as we can understand, Srila Sanatana Goswami building very deep foundation of Krishna consciousness by giving Hari Bhakti Vilas, by giving Brihad Bhagavatamritam, and so many other instructions as well. But not really considering himself, he knows Rupa and Raghunath, they also have to put something on the table. So Sanatana Goswami doesn't have any problem. Like, okay, if my work is to build strong foundation, I will. I know based on that foundation, everything else can be built and adjusted. So that's, I believe, important part for us is to, besides of course our own deities and Radha Damodar, were technically all wealth, as Tirtha Maharaj said this morning, when one man said to Guru Maharaj, I went to Vrindavan very briefly, only Radha Damodar. He said, that is enough. Because then you can understand, it's like Vrindavan Das Thakur, Sanatana Goswami, Srila, you know, Jiva Goswami, Krishna, like you've got the whole thing at one shot. But if you start dividing this divine perspective, you will understand it's infinite. So as we say, how you to eat elephant? By bite. So how to deal with infinite? You take little piece of infinite and start dealing with that, and it will lead you to another infinite. If you just want to swallow the whole infinite thing, it's not going to work. So little by little, we're taking this, even the tour. Every time I go to Vrindavan, I see at least 1 or 2 new places. But when I look at the book, I see there's so much more places to see. Then I'm thinking, oh, it is very good because Krishna is feeding me piece by little piece. If I come here and say, I will own the infinite, I will own the Sukriti, it's not going to happen. It's like, if you can appreciate one piece, it's almost like a chess game. If you can appreciate this, then you can appreciate that. If you can appreciate that, you can appreciate that. Because to say, I love everything, that's like Mayavad answer. Saraswati Thakur answer when they ask him, how you like prasadam? You know what he say? One scoop is better than the other. That is the answer. If you say like, I like everything, I like, you know, I like all God, oh, you're God, I'm God, everything, I like God. No, that is not that. It's like, okay, you don't understand what you're talking about. But if you say, yeah, this was beautiful, but we'll move on, we see more beautiful. And that's also Vaishnavas. You know, like, it's not like, oh, one Vaishnava is divine and everybody else is in Maya. No, it doesn't work like this. In Krishna Consciousness, you see, oh, this devotee is very beautiful, but another devotee, he's showing me some other beauty, and you know, more beauty, and more beauty, and more beauty. And Srila Govinda Maharaja will say, my business is to search beauty, not the search. That was Govinda Maharaja's answer. He said, that's what I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to see something great in everyone. So, I want to publish something today about Mathuranath because I see people publish, but I spoke with Goswami Maharaj, Narayana Maharaj, and I know we need to publish something. But that something has to be appropriate. Because in everything there's fortune and misfortune. So the fortune is to have connection with Vaishnavas. The misfortune is to trust your own mind and your own judgment. And no matter how great you think you're going to make a decision, that's not how you make it in spiritual life. So in spiritual life, you are placing your decision in the hands of superior Vaishnavas. And that's where the old fortunate stuff comes to. As soon as you start placing decisions at yourself, you're done because you're dealing with your own mind. Therefore, we inquire always to Guru, Vaishnava and pray. And whatever inspiration comes from them, that we have to take this. But it still does not fully secure our life, does not secure us from making mistakes. So to error is human. So we can say mistakes are being made all through our life, constantly. But that's not what Krishna's concern. So Krishna's concern is what we are doing in inspiration of Guru and Vaishnavas, and I feel that if Mathuranath, if soul is eternal, if there's a settled life, then what would he do? After leaving his body, he's not going to hang around. Like, he already considered this world is miserable for him. And now he doesn't have any issues, health, family, everything is finished with the body. So I think he should be somewhere here. Because his mind is going to carry him, and maybe it will come in a dream to someone. Also very much possible. And I think he might be even somewhere with us in Parikrama. So then if he's somewhere with us in Parikrama, he should know that we all love him, we all accept him. Yeah. We're thinking of him, and we're thinking what connection he's done with Gurudev, Vaishnavas is eternal. In spite of all material circumstances, we know that eternity is, that's what we are really looking at. So I think we were very fortunate to meet him in our life. I feel very, very big guilt. I understand now. I should have just encouraged him to take sannyas immediately. Because he wanted to do that. But maybe not get enough support from a community, and that's where the problem is. It seems like we have a very substantial community in the Western world of some substantial devotees, but when it comes to some life circumstance, I think we need to give more trust to our members and give them chance. And otherwise, he could do so much in great preaching. But we think this opportunity is not finished for him with this life. It's actually maybe just beginning. So as Guru Maharaj said, in every unauspicious situation, we should look at something auspicious. So now I'm done this with English, and I want this to be broadcast because everybody's expecting something from Maharajas for senior Vaishnavas. I'm not senior Vaishnava, but I have a position, so then I have to give a comment. Otherwise, if I don't see anything and I don't comment anything, it's just mean like I don't, like why then I've got the service from Srila Gurudev. So our conclusion is this: Mathuranath Prabhu is dear Vaishnava, dear disciple of Srila Govinda Maharaja, and dear member of our mission. The end of his life is very inauspicious, but we can feel that for him it is auspicious beginning of next life, next spiritual life, whatever eternal you acquire, Krishna consciousness, that will remain with you forever. And whatever temporarily is being done in your life, that will be washed by ways of karma. Like, you should not worry about that. Everything in the world of action and reaction. So that we should not be afraid of some action and reaction. What we should be afraid of is that we're not putting trust in Vaishnavas and we're not taking guidance from the Vaishnavas. So it's very important for us to support each other and provide guidance.